you're good.
Yeah, it's like a doctor, like, call me Dr. Thorpe.
You made me all
Fair
kinds of
enough.
people walk by without saluting when I was in the military. Almost every one. You forgetting something, Evan? I don't think so. Oh, they hate that.
Yeah. All right, we ready? Y'all get your phones out. Y'all want to record this too.
Okay, hold on then. I thought we were going to use this one.
Well,
Oh, no, that's for
put it
that
on
thing
your
you guys
phone
were
so that you
talking
have
about.
it. This part is literally the most important part. If you can't talk about the money, properly, people are going to turn to stone. Ready? Just when I finish my book. Ta-da, that's the end of my presentation. You have any questions?
No.
And normally I do a good enough job on these things at the end. People want to know, how does it work? If I wanted to do some of this stuff to my home, Chuck, how would I do it? Well, obviously you figured it out by now. We do a little bit of everything over here at Direct Energy. Hybrid water heaters, insulation, radiant barrier, pool pumps, attic fans, AeroSeal, anything you could screw or glue to the home to make it more efficient, chances are we do. And there's a few ways to purchase from us. One is to come down to our showroom floors and buy it. We got 5 offices statewide. You come into any of our offices and pick up equipment. We also do home shows and trade shows. Before COVID, we were doing 40 or 50 a year. Now we do 20 or 30 a year. That's where we take energy saving equipment, put it on display in the local malls, home and garden shows. We do a ton of retail business that way. Last way to get stuff from us is to get them through the incentive programs like the Model Home Program. While I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and show you our showroom and home show prices. These prices are good for today, tomorrow, a week, a month, all the way up to a year. Fair enough, Chuck? This is what I would recommend for the home. First thing is a 4-ton variable speed, high efficiency air conditioner. Those are $16,995. I'd also highly recommend that you go ahead and do the AeroSeal treatment on that ductwork that we were talking about earlier. That's going to clean, sanitize, and seal all of that ductwork from the inside out. That's $750 per drop. For 12 vents, you're looking at $9,000 to do the AeroSeal treatment. I would also highly recommend that you go ahead and do the blown-in insulation. You only had about 3 inches up there, Chuck. It was original, right? To redo that insulation, we do it cheaper than just about anybody. We do it for $299 per square foot. On 2,200 square feet, you're looking at $65.78. I'd also highly recommend that you go ahead and change out that water heater that you got out there. It was 20 years old, costing you what, 60, 70 bucks a month. We determined we were out there looking at the Energy Guide sticker. That's $6,995. I'd also highly recommend that you go ahead and put a couple of solar attic ventilation fans up there, suck out that hot air, cool down the ductwork, and protect the new air conditioner that you're going to be putting in, right? To do those fans, you're looking at $19.95 each. To do 2 of them, you're looking at $39.90. $1,500 for permitting, engineering, and install would bring us to a grand total here of 9,000 plus 69.95 plus 65.78 plus 39.90 plus 1,500 for install. You'd be looking at $45,000 to do all the upgrades to the home. $45,058. Now that's not why I'm here. I'm here to get your opinions on what we've done here today and help spread the word of conservation and of energy efficiency, right? So this is how I get paid. This is kind of like a report card on how I did on my evaluation. What are you usually looking for on report cards, Chuck?
A's.
A's, right? So please give me good marks. I'm gonna fill this top portion out for you. Chuck and Mary. What was your last name again, Chuck?
Grillo, Grillo.
Gotcha. And this is 486 Barrier Drive. All right, so this is pretty simple. You're going to answer questions 1 through 5, A, B, and C questions. For example, question number 1, it says, after reviewing the energy analysis, I feel that saving energy is A, very important, B, important, C, not important. What do you think, Chuck? Important, so you're going to sure it's not very important? Energy equals money. All right, A. So you're going to circle an A here. Remember, I'm looking for A's, right? And you're going to write an A over here. Separate place for Mr., separate place for Miss. Please use your answers. We don't want y'all copying off each other, okay? Now, question number 4, it says the amount of money you feel an energy saving package would save you every month. A, 100 plus, B, 75 to 99, C, 50 to 74. How much will this actually save you on your power bill, Chuck? Well, right now you've got a $350 power bill. If you do the hybrid water heater, we determined that your cost out there was 70, 75 bucks, right? The hybrid water heater only costs $10 a month to operate, so you'd save a minimum of $60 a month on your power bill, okay? That represents right around 20% of your bill, but now you don't have a $350 power bill anymore, right? $60 lower, now you're down to $290. Now let's say you do the new AC. New AC is gonna save 35% on that power bill. It's the biggest energy user in your home. right? So we go $290 times 35%. You're looking at saving $101 a month simply by changing out the air conditioner, right? So now you don't even have a $290 bill, it's $101 lower. You're looking at a $189 bill. Now let's say that you go ahead and do the AeroSeal. AeroSeal saves 15%, but not 15% of 350 or 290, but 15% of now 189. Makes sense? So 189 times 15%, you're looking at saving another $28 a month on the power bill. We do 189 minus the 28. Now you're down to a $161 bill. Now let's say we do the blown-in insulation, re-insulate that entire attic floor, bring it up to R38, 17 inches, right? That's gonna cut costs here by 10%, but again, Chuck, not 10% of 350 or 290 or 189, but 161. We're looking at another $16. So we go 161 minus 16, we're down to 145. And the last thing was just those couple attic fans suck out the hot air, cool down the ductwork that we're doing the AeroSeal treatment on, protect the new air conditioning system that's being put in. That's gonna cut costs by 10%. I'm sure at this point I don't have to tell you, Chuck, it's not 10% of 350 or 290 or 189 or 160, but 145, which is another $14, right? So you would end up at a $131 power bill. We do 350 minus 131. You end up saving $219 on a $350 average energy cost. That comes out to be 219 divided by 350. That's a 62% reduction on your energy bill. Make sense?
Yes.
You say you'd save 62% by doing all these upgrades at home. I mean, literally everywhere you look, Chuck, there'll be something you did to increase the efficiency of this home, right? Cool. Question number 6, it says, what features appeal to you the most? What do you like best about what I showed you today, Chuck? Is it reducing your own carbon footprint, reducing emissions, saving the planet, increasing the value of your home? Some people tell me return on investment or sticking it to Duke Energy, right?
ROI and sticking it.
ROI is good, right? People get tired of giving the power company virtually a car payment every month, right? Just for power. So, all right, so while you guys fill that out, I'm gonna go ahead and get cleaned up a little bit, okay? They fill it out, I review a couple of them, right? All right, after viewing the energy analysis, I feel that saving energy is, you both immediately put A, very important, right, Chuck?
Yes.
Sure. United States dependency on foreign oil should be an immediate concern. The amount of money you feel an energy saving package you save every month. You both put A, 100 plus. It was actually $219. You see you'd save over $200 a month by doing these upgrades to the home, Chuck?
Yes.
Perfect. You like return on investment, sticking it to the power company. What does this say? Oh, Mary, making the house more comfortable, reducing costs for the future. Thank y'all so much. Like I said, this is how I get paid. I'm just gonna go ahead and sign myself out here. Now, earlier I was telling you about a program we have available. They call it the Model Home Program. These programs are designed to show the average everyday American homeowner how they can make their homes efficient, not have it cost them any money out of their pocket. And there's only a few things that you have to do in order to be eligible for the program. It's essentially helping us advertise, Chuck. And the first thing is an evaluation savings letter within 90 days. 3 sentences, 1 paragraph, how much money you're saving on your bills, what you like about what we did to the home, right? Pretty simple. 3 sentences, 1 paragraph, like a testimonial, right? They also want you to give 3 homeowner referrals, 3 names and 3 phone numbers of people who live in the state of Florida. We're gonna call them and try to set up an eval just like we did for you. They say yes, we go do one. They say no, we don't go do one. We never call them again. Chuck, fair enough?
Yeah.
3 homeowner referrals. They also want you to cooperate with our install department on time and day. Find a time that's good for us and good for you to come out and do the work. For people that sign up at our showroom and home show, they pay $1,500 for install. They say be here tomorrow at 9 a.m. We're there at 8:45. We're in bells and whistles, right? People who sign underneath these programs, they try to find a time that's good for us and good for you, right? That way they can waive your $1,500 in install costs by helping us cooperate. Does that seem fair? You willing to save $1,500 by just finding a good time that works for us and you?
Yes.
Okay, great. They also want 2 copies of your power bill. A copy of your power bill from today when I did the assessment, and a copy of your power bill once all the equipment's been installed for a full month. It's just a before and after power bill. Seem fair, Chuck? Last thing they ask is that you accept or decline at the time of presentation, being now. Now, don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean that you can't buy stuff from Direct Energy in the future. You can. Chuck, it just means that when you want it, you kind of got to pay what everybody else pays, okay? And I'll show you exactly what this means to you. The first thing that you're going to get for being a part of the Model Home Program is a $2,000 rebate on your air conditioning system. So instead of that being $16,995, under the Model Home Program, it's just $14,995. Now you also get $300 off per drop on the AeroSeal. So instead of that being $750 a drop, it's just $450 a drop. So instead of it being $9,000 under the model home program, it's only $5,400. You also get a $1,000 rebate on the hybrid water heater. Excuse me. So instead of that being $6,995 under the model home program, it's $5,995. You also get $500 off the installation. We go from $6,578 down to $6,078. And you also get $300 off of each solar attic fan, right? So it's essentially $600 off of 2. That comes out to be $3,390. And you've agreed to cooperate with our install department on time and day. For doing that for us, we do something for you. We waive all your install fees. Instead of being $1,500, that's going to be $0. So instead of your overall purchase price here being $45,058 under the model home program today, you're only looking at $7,800 plus $3,390. You're only looking at $30,958. Now, I always like to do these numbers twice just to make sure that I'm accurate. $14,995 plus $5,400 on AeroSeal, $5,995 on the hybrid water heater, $6,078 for the installation plus $3,390. Yep. Well, no. $35,858. So I missed something here the first time. $35,858. And you know, I think, Chuck, I'm just going to do it a third time to make sure. $14,995 for the AC, $5,400 for the AeroSeal, $5,995 for the hybrid water heater, $6,000 for the installation, plus $3,390 for the solar attic fans. Yep, we are accurate. $35,858. But Chuck, which one makes more sense here? Paying $45,000 or $35,000? Obviously, it makes much better sense to pay lower and get the same stuff, right? Now, you're also going to be saving money here, and over a 10-year period of time, you remember this little chart that we did over here? I think we did it on 300 when we did it the first time. But what you do here, so that we can get $350 over 10 years, I'm just going to add the $150 category to the $200 category. That'll give us $350 over 10 years. Make sense, Chuck? So $150 over 10 years is $36,546. Plus 200 is $48,725. That comes out to be $85,271 you're going to spend on electricity over the next 10 years, right? This is going to cut those costs by, what did we say, Chuck?
200 plus.
62%, right? Well, Chuck, you save 62% over the next 10 years. You end up saving $52,868 on energy costs over the next decade. Chuck, if we minus out the $35,000 that you spent on the upgrades, $858, that means over a 10-year period of time you end up profiting $858, $17,000 and doing all the upgrades virtually free. Now, Chuck, which one makes more sense here? Spending $52,000 with the power company over the next 10 years and getting nothing, no investment, no equity, no return, or investing 35 grand into your home and putting 17 grand back into you and your family's budget over the next 10 years. Which one of those plans makes better sense financially?
Second.
Guys, obviously it makes much better sense to invest this money than it does to keep throwing all this money away with the power company. Now, Chuck, most people aren't going to write me a check for 35 grand. Most people aren't going to hand me a credit card and go, here you go, Chris, get me started. Most people want to take the same money they're spending on their energy bills, use that to pay for the upgrades, or at least the majority. So, Chuck, what do you think that you and Mary could afford on a monthly basis to do all these upgrades to the home? I mean, could you afford 20, 30, 40 bucks a month? We're not trying to take bread and butter off the table. What could you comfortably afford? 50? If they say 50, you've got a deal.
Right.
Normally they're going to pick 20, 30, or 40. If they're going over that, they're buying, guaranteed, right? You're like, yes, I got a deal here. Most of the time I'm going to say, I don't know, honey, what do you think? Guys, if it's $20, is that something you think you could handle? That's what I'll throw it out. If it's 20, 30 bucks, that's something you think you can handle. Yeah, we could handle that. All right. You see, I got all these lines left over here, Chuck? I haven't even showed you about the federal rebate programs, and that's a big, big part of this. Now, your overall purchase price here is $35,858. And this is going to carry a federal credit of 30%, which comes out to be $35,858. 30% is $10,757. Now, have you ever filed a federal credit before, Chuck?
Yeah.
First time home buyer program, cash for clunkers, earned income credit for a child, anything like that?
Probably not.
You haven't done any of those? Well, those are all federal credits. First time home buyer program, cash for clunkers, earned income credit for a child. You probably filed some
Probably
earned
filed.
income credit for the kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty close. So at the end of the year, when you and Mary file your taxes, do you usually get money back or do you owe money?
Oh,
Usually owe. How much you owe? A couple thousand, 3,000, 4,000?
zeroed out this year.
Oh, you got lucky this year. What is it usually? A couple thousand?
Depending on how good my account
Just say
is.
yes.
Yes. Yes, sorry.
$2,000? Okay, great. You're making it hard over here. All right, so let's say at the end of the year you owe $2,000, right? And you got this federal credit for $10,000. That $2,000 that you owe comes out of the $10,000. Now you get a return from the government for $8,000. Let's say at the end of the year, Chuck, you're getting back $2,000. And let's hope this is the case this year, right? Then you got this federal credit for $10,000. That $2,000 refund goes on top of the $10,000 credit. Now you get a return from the government for $12,000. These are not deductions, Chuck. They are actual federal credits, like it says here. They're dollar for dollar, added to or deducted from whatever you receive or on your income taxes. Added to or deducted from, right? All you do is file this on a 5695 federal tax ID form. Take that as well as a receipt and the proof of purchase I give you, give it to your accountant, whoever does your taxes, they file it, you get the money at tax time. Makes sense, pretty simple stuff. Now, you're also gonna be saving money, and what was it, $219, right? $219 per month is what you're gonna be saving on your power bill here, Chuck. So that means for the first 18 months, you end up saving $3,942 on your power bill. So that means you're going to collect $10,000 from the government plus almost $4,000 in savings on your power bill. We add those two together, it comes out to be $14,699 in rebates, incentives, and savings on your power bill. You follow me so far, Chuck?
Yeah, basically cash back in my pocket.
You got it. Here's the best part about the program.
Okay.
There is no money down. No money out of your pocket whatsoever. We come out and install everything. Once everything is done and complete, you're going to sign a completion certificate. It lets the banks and finance companies know that the work is done and that you're happy with all of the work. After you sign that completion certificate, Chuck, you and Mary are going to have 18 full months with no payments, no interest, no nothing. That gives you the opportunity to collect your government funds as well as see the savings on your power bill before you ever spend one dime. Now, Chuck, you're supposed to take this money and apply it to the balance, right? Government's giving you this money for making your home efficient. Please spend it on that. Too many people get this money in their hands and they go buy a motorcycle. They take a long vacation to Hawaii, right? Please take this money and apply it to the balance. When you do that, 18 months from now, you will end up with a balance of $21,159. And that's what you're responsible for, Chuck, the $21,000. 18 months from now, you got a couple options. A, you can pay this $21,000 off in cash. 50% of our customers do that to avoid any finance or interest charges. B, you can put it on a credit card, maybe need the miles, maybe you want to qualify it under one of your own loan programs through your own bank or credit union. Some people use home equity lines, things like that. If you don't do any of those things, Chuck, after the 18 months, this loan is automatically going to roll over to a 0.92% monthly payment factor at a 4.9% interest rate, which means that your monthly payment with us would be $195. So that's going to be the monthly payment after the 18 months, but you're still going to be saving $219 a month on the power bill, right, Chuck? So at that point, $195 payment, and you've got a $219 a month savings. That means you're positive $24 per month. Earlier, Chuck, you told me if it costs you $20 a month is something you go ahead and do, right? In this case, you're profiting $24 a month. Chuck, do you think that profiting $24 a month would create a financial hardship on you and Mary?
No.
Probably not, right? All I need to get you started on the program is a driver's license. It takes about 10 minutes to fill out the paperwork.
Okay.
What do you do right now? He who talks first loses.
Period.
He who talks first loses. Shut up. They're going to tell you everything that you need to know to close them. I always do I think you do the same thing, a 5-second stall, right? Where I'm not going to start talking until there's 5 seconds of silence, right? That means they're done talking. That's when I'll start talking. You see what I mean? He who talks first loses. In video. You're pretty close, right?